Senator Weber, I'd like to move to an issue that has been in the news in the last few days, and that is the question of the status of a bonding bill. There has been some discussion about that bonding bill, and we often get questions here about specific programs, specific projects, rather, including chemistry building at the U and water treatment facilities and other things that are of concern to particular communities. Um, can you bring the viewers up to date on the status of that bonding bill discussion that we've been hearing about over the last few days?
At this point, it's my understanding that the Finance Committee, I believe, in the Senate, and I do not serve on that, is soon to take up the bonding bill that the House has sent over. And certainly, there are many of us that do believe in having a bonding bill. Obviously, wastewater projects funded through the PFA are important to our local governments. HEAPR funds for the repair and improvement of our college buildings and transportation funds for our roads and bridges, and there's just a multitude of needs and uses out there for bonding money. Our position has been we also, in a period of an unprecedented surplus, we need to be talking about getting money back to the taxpayers of Minnesota because they're the ones that gave us a $19 billion surplus. I know that it's quoted at 17.5 billion, but that's because there's been an accounting change to allow for inflation, so they reduced that by $1.5 billion. But I think we are concerned that as we look at the governor's proposed budget, which increases the biennial budget by $11 billion, we look at all the other money that has been spent and that is being proposed to be spent. At the end of it, it's going to be the taxpayers that are left out in the cold without any type of tax reform or tax rebates or elimination of Social Security benefits from taxation. And we think that with this kind of a surplus, we have the capacity to deal with some tax reform and tax relief for our taxpayers uh, before we start incurring additional debt to them and to them future money with interest and what have you. So that is what we would really like to see happen.
Senator McEwen, your thoughts on the bonding bill discussion that is now underway in the Senate?
Oh gosh, I sure hope we get one. I mean, I was quite shocked actually in my first term as a senator to see all of the preparation that went into the bonding bill. I remember being in Duluth and seeing Senator Bach at the time was the chair of the Senate Bonding Committee, and they came on a tour on a really nice chartered bus up to Glen Sheen in Duluth, and all of the local projects put together these beautiful presentations, got all their ducks in a row. We presented to these legislators who were on the committee, and then to see at the end of the day that the bonding bill did not get across the line was shocking. It was just shocking. And I'm sure there's plenty of blame to go around, and I wasn't part of those committees, and I don't mean to assign any certain blame to anyone, but that means that this year we are long overdue for a bonding bill for basic infrastructure projects. So as Senator Weber said, we have water treatment infrastructure that is overdue for funding. We have very basic projects. I mean, this is not the kind of projects that we're talking about that are some sort of pet projects for people. These are basic community infrastructure projects that are overdue, that people have been waiting for, our local communities. So I'm hoping that we're going to see it come through, and I'm hoping it's not going to be held up by political games.
Representative Baker, bonding issues. I realize the House has acted, but we want to hear your position on that.
Well, we've acted, Barry, and it's now in the hands of the Senate. We let our colleagues know that it's on its way. I will tell you overall, I think it's a good bill. I think it's about $1.9 billion. It's by far the largest bonding bill in state history. It was actually two bills. There was some borrowing in one of the bills with our GO borrowing bill that was, I think, about 1.5, and then the other one was what we call the cash bill, when we don't borrow, we don't have to borrow money for that. We'll just pay cash out of the bottom line. I ended up not supporting either one. Not that I didn't want to see a bonding bill happen. My concern was we have so much money on the bottom line. I didn't think we needed to actually have to borrow the money. And I wish that we would actually use a lot of that kind of one-time money, which is what bonding bills are, that we didn't have to actually use it and put it on the credit card. I think this would have been a unique time to do that. Also, to Senator Weber's point, we made a lot of promises to people when we came here, and I think it's really important that we get some other work done, like tax reform, our Social Security tax, getting some of these things that we really had to work on before we sort of dealt with this extra bill. Some people refer to it as the dessert bill. I know this is important infrastructure, and I don't want to treat this like it doesn't matter if we get it done. It really does. But I would say that with a lot of the projects that didn't get done last year, I'm happy it's over in the Senate. The Senate will be able to kind of tear it apart a little bit. It'll probably come back to the House. There'll be some last minute negotiations, and I'm sure the bill will get better as it moves along. But again, I couldn't support it really for only those reasons, but I really do support. It was a good bill, and I support a lot of the kind of projects that are in it this year.